In this demonstration, we're going to show you how to add the next steps or activity list back into Creatio on the account and contact screen because it's not there in the new Freedom UI versions of those two screens. It's not there by default, so we're going to show you how to easily add that. So here's a contact view in the new Freedom UI, and you can see that I've already added the next steps panel. This is showing you a list of all of your currently scheduled activities for this particular contact. This was always in the previous or classic version, but it's not currently in the Freedom UI version. That's okay, it's easy to add it. So we're going to add it to the account screen because as I mentioned on the out of the box screens currently, I say currently because this may change with future updates. They may add it by default, but if they don't, that's okay because we'll add it to the account screen. So we're going to do that by clicking on the little gear. You got the big gear up above, and that brings you into your system settings, but the little tiny gear underneath that is going to open up the edit page for the screen that you're on. And so that's going to open a new tab. So here's the new tab we would get if you were on the account detail view, and it doesn't have the communication activity list, but we'll add it here by dragging it from the left. So over on the left side of the screen in the Atlas Designer low code, no code area of Creatio, you've got all these different objects and fields and charts and graphs and components. Under the components area, we're looking for something called next steps, and here it is. And we're going to left click on that, and we're going to drag it over to the screen. And we're looking for it to be its own little blue horizontal bar. We don't want it to be inside of any of the dashed boxes of blocks that are already here. We want it to be its own thing. So you can see the horizontal blue bar. It's dark blue. We let it go, and that's going to drop that next steps panel right where we want it to be. Now, one thing else I noticed was the actual label here is really stuck up against the sidewall. There's no white space, and it looks a little strange. So I just resolved that by going into the title here and just hit like three dots to sort of scoot it over a little bit so it's not right up against the side of the screen. A little easier to read. And then you click save, and save is I think it's sort of black round save button. This saves all the changes you made to the form. It's not the blue save button because that's the save button within the actual user interface. That doesn't do anything at this point. So we click save, and it is going to take a little while for this to render and compile. So you're going to see some spinning. Don't be alarmed. I mean, it literally took 5 to 10 minutes for this to sort of settle down and do everything it needed to do. And then when you go back into your Creatio, you will have to log out. So click on your profile in the upper right corner and exit and go back in. And when you do that, you're going to have that new panel. It will appear just like we saw in the contacts area. Now, it's not done yet, so you're seeing this, and you may not want to do this in the middle of the day when your users are using the system.